the name Orunmila. Orunmila. Orunmila means heaven knows who shall be saved. That's the name Orunmila literally means heaven knows, or heaven knows my salvation. There are a couple of different approaches how you can translate it, but the idea always has to do with heaven and salvation. Orunmila means heaven knows who shall be saved. Okay, so that gives you some idea about Orunmila's role and his presence in the pantheon. This is a thing that differentiates Orunmila from other deities. He's specially created for salvation, for restoration, for delivery, for deliverance. It's Orunmila who can help you out of whatever kind of a situation that you're struggling with. So I'm going to share some verses of Ifa with you that reveal the different levels or different angles or facets of how Orunmila saves. Okay, so this one comes from the Holy Odu Ofun Ogunda, Ofun on the right, Ogunda on the left. Ofun Ogunda. This is Ifa says, with style and dexterity, I have removed myself from trouble. This was the one who cast Ifa for Orunmila, when Ifa was to rescue his Akapo from evil. The Akapo is the apprentice of Orunmila. It's the one who carries Orunmila's bag. Orunmila was going to save his Akapo from evil. Now I have gotten Olomboyo leaves. With ease, Ifa shall rescue his Akapo from evil. With ease. So here we see that Orunmila's student, his apprentice, was under attack. His student or his apprentice was surrounded by negative forces. He went to go consult Ifa, and Orunmila told him what herbs to go and get so that he could heal himself or prepare the medicine that will alleviate his suffering. But the Akapo gathered the herbs, they applied the medicine, and wickedness was repelled from the Akapo's life. So here we see Orunmila can protect us from spiritual attack. Orunmila can protect us from spiritual imbalance. Orunmila can deliver us from the forces of wickedness. Okay. Another verse here is from Irosumeji. Irosumeji, and it says, "We shall follow gently the owl of humility." Was the one who cast Ifa for Orunmila when the thread of life was to be handed to him. He was advised to sacrifice. Behold, if the world breaks, there is no mender. Let us pull the thread of life with caution. If the thread of life breaks, there is no mender. Let us pull the thread of life with care. And so here we see that it's a cautionary message. That they're letting us know that life is delicate. Life is a very fragile balance. And we have to be able to hold it gently. We have to be able to hold it carefully. We got to be very deliberate about this thing that we have in our hands. We have the baby. We hold the baby with care. That's life. That's the rope of life. And there's several verses that go on and on about how, Orunmila was given the rope of life. In another instance, Orunmila seizes the rope of life from the Orisha, from all the 401 divinities. All of the 401 divinities were empowered by Olodumare. And they had fire, they had water, they had wind, they had the earth, they had all these forces that they could command. Orunmila, as I said before, is feeble. Orunmila had no powers. But Orunmila did exercise ritual discipline. And so while all the other deities would go out and they'd be doing these fantastic things in the world, Orunmila would stay back in the shrine. And when he would be doing his weekly worship, he would see, oh, Shango requires begedi soup and orobo and palm oil. Okay, Orunmila will give that to Shango's shrine. Obatala needs snail, and he needs fresh water and white cloth. And Orunmila will do that. Oshun needs, Ogun needs, Obaluaye needs, Yemoja needs. And Orunmila will be in the shrine tending to all of the spiritual needs of the vitality of all of the deities, which allow them to be out in the world doing the things that keep the world in balance like we know. Once the deities had everything in order and it was running well, they realized, oh, we need to organize this. We need leadership. We need somebody who's going to be the in charge. We need somebody who's going to be the spokesperson. Somebody's going to organize things. They started to talk among themselves. And as they talked among themselves, Ogun realized, well, if I'm going to administer this, that means I got to be here and kind of in the office, huh? Like, yeah. I nominate Orunmila. And Shango was like, Ogun might be onto something. I got to be doing this. I can't be out there doing that. Yeah, I second that. Orunmila's the guy. And everybody, the idea caught quick, and they all realized, like, yeah, Orunmila can do that. I want to be out doing my thing in the world. And so this is how Orunmila, they say with gentle character, is that Orunmila sees the rope of life from the 401 deities. Being that Orunmila was a servant. Orunmila wasn't trying to go out and do things in the world. Orunmila was fine with being seated and tending to the quiet needs behind the scenes for the deities. That's how he served. And so by serving the deities, he helped them to perform their duties to keep things in motion in the world.